Shining Light, it is so good to see you. I know it's been a minute since I've been on here. This is actually my first time going live. And honestly, I haven't gone live before is because I was just afraid of making a mistake or saying something wrong or being awkward or weird in some way. But a lot has changed. And there has been a lot of things that I just haven't wanted to talk about. And the main reason why I haven't felt like talking is because of one word: perimenopause. Perimenopause has entered the chat and has shut the chat down. So I have not been feeling like sharing knowledge and wealth and this fount of information. I haven't felt like sharing it because I've been struggling. I've been having my own struggles. Um, I've been a little bit tired, and I really haven't had anything that I felt like talking about. So, as a healer, or a person who likes to help people to heal themselves, you want to be able to have the answers, and sometimes there's this pressure to always have the answers. And we're only here once, in this form. We're only here once, and we have however long that we're given to learn the lessons that we are here to learn. And sometimes it can come early, sometimes it can come late. But it's good that they come in any kind of guise, in any kind of way. And yeah, it's just so much pressure sometimes to feel like you are, you know everything, and that nothing happens to you. And, it's like I've always been into health and wellness. I've always been a cheerleader for other people. Let me tell you, all through college, I've always been athletic, and I've always been the person, even through college, to just like help my friends to lose weight. And I've always been concerned about their health and their peace of mind. I've motivated people to lose weight. I've motivated people to take care of themselves because that's the way I grew up. And I had a good background with people who were healthy and wanted to take care of themselves. My mother, she was constantly in the gym. She was constantly lifting weights. She was never let me have a lot of sugar. It was like a treat, but she never, overindulged me. So I grew up in this household where I was supported for my health and my body and my well-being. So for me, I've been pretty prideful all of these years about having health and wellness and being able to give that to other people. So when I tell you, when my body started turning on me and there was nothing that I could do about it, it was humbling and eye-opening. I'm getting a little teary. Uh, so anyway, I'm here now, and I'm here to just talk because I don't know what video to record, and I don't know what to tell you. You could be going through the same thing I'm going through, but I know we're going through it together. Now, here's what's funny, okay? I grew up in a house full of women. I had lots of aunts and cousins, and my mother and my grandmother, and I watched all of these women. They helped bring me up. I was in the garden with my grandmother. I was cooking with my aunts. We would sit in the living room during the summer, snapping peas and peeling apples. And I mean, it was something out of a book, something you don't get these days. But let me tell you, they never said anything about perimenopause or menopause, okay? Now, we've all had that auntie or cousin or somebody in your family that for some reason they were just bitchy and you couldn't figure out why they were bitchy. You're like, oh, that's just the way she is. You figured she had a sorry man or some sorry kids or a hard life, but you couldn't understand what her problem was. Well, it was probably perimenopause, okay? They didn't talk about it. I was raised by the greatest generation and baby boomers, and they did not talk about perimenopause. Okay, it was just, you knew they had hot flashes and sometimes some mood swings, but they kept it to themselves, which a lot of that generation did. So I am so thankful. I am so thankful for Gen X and millennials who are now starting to go into perimenopause and menopause. Thank you for opening your mouth and bringing this awareness to everyone, because women have been suffering in silence for so long. I honestly do not know how most women going through this are dealing with the things that they are dealing with, because I feel like I am just honestly just shutting down. So, well, hey, hey, Matsu. So let's just talk about some of the things that they did not tell you about. So you knew there were the mood swings, right? You knew that there were, sometimes they're smiling and they love you, and the next minute they hate you and they want you out of the house, right? We knew about this. These are all the things that are associated with menopause. Now, some of these are very similar to puberty in girls. Some of this is very similar to pregnancy and PMS. Women, our whole lives, we are dealing with hormone issues, so we're very used to it. But when you go into perimenopause, all of that sort of the patterns that you're used to, they're gone now. All of those patterns are gone, and you're just being thrown into this, just shake you up and roll you like dice to figure out what's going to go on during the day or at any given time. So let me go over this list. This list is 2 pages long. Okay, here's what to expect that they did not tell me about, and a lot of us about, when it comes to menopause. Hot flashes, sweating. That means sweating in your scalp, between your breasts, in the crotch area. None of that is fun, okay? Just being sweaty. Body odor. Now, some people smell stronger than others, okay? It depends on what you eat. It depends on your genetics. It can depend on a lot of things. But sweat, for the most part, if you eat good, is very clean smelling, okay? It's when the bacteria is introduced is when you start to get that odor going on. But you now have the sensitivity to body odor. And even if you don't feel like you smell, you probably don't, but you feel like you do. And it's because the hormones, the estrogen that is decreasing in your body, is making you more sensitive to smells, and your body is changing. So you're constantly a little bit paranoid about it. So, you may have to up your deodorant, you may have to shower a bit more, especially if you're constantly having hot flashes and sweating. Sleep disturbance. Now, most women are, I don't know, it can start in your 20s, waking up at that golden hour of 3 a.m. in the morning, okay? And then if you have kids, you probably get no sleep at all. So, sleep disturbance is probably not a big thing, but when it continues on to where you're constantly having hot flashes throughout the night and you're not getting any sleep, it's going to start to affect how you function, your body, your brain, everything. In order for your body to work, it needs sleep. And when you're not getting it, you turn into a very nasty, nasty person. Tiredness goes with not being able to sleep. Mood swings, the crying, the anger. Let me tell you, there are things that can set me off that, like, my husband just telling a joke that I probably have thought was hilarious 100 times. Just a simple thing. I don't know. I don't road rage anymore. I used to when I had to commute to corporate America. I used to road rage. But now it could be anything to set me off. And I don't like feeling like that. I don't like being angry with the people that I care about. And it's sort of weird because it comes out of nowhere. You could be perfectly fine, and then you would just have this anger or just crying, feeling sad for no reason without any sort of depression or anything to trigger it. Headaches, just having headaches, bloating, changes in your appetite. Let me tell you, you can put on a pair of pants, an outfit, and go to work. In a matter of hours, by midday after you eat your lunch, you could have swelled up to a point where your clothes are cutting into you. You just want to run home and rip your clothes off. It's completely uncomfortable, and it's crazy because you can feel it happening. Do you know what it's like to just stand? You could just be standing there having a conversation with someone, and the next thing you know, you are just swelling up. Usually people with hyperthyroidism, they you can just sort of, one minute you see them, they're normal, and the next time you see them, they have swelled up 2 or 3 sizes. That is what perimenopause can do to you, is just the crazy bloating and swelling, water retention, constipation, gas, and diarrhea. And sometimes you can have all of those in one day, okay? And then your appetite, you want either, you might crave even like the most horrible foods and snacks, but then you don't want to eat. So there are some days you don't even feel like eating, or you only eat like this much. But yeah, the changes in appetite and the stomach issues, that can come from perimenopause, and it's because the estrogen is slowing down your digestive system, and your esophagus is starting to actually, it's shrinking a bit. Taking pills becomes difficult. You know how you're always laughing, how all of a sudden you just start choking on your own spit for no reason? Like, where did that even come from? All right. Sudden weight gain. I don't know if weight loss is a thing. Please leave me, a little something in the chat if you have perimenopause or have suffered with menopause and you lose a lot of weight, maybe because your appetite has changed. But for the most part, women start to struggle with gaining lots of weight. And it's just this yo-yo, and it comes on quick. Let me tell you, within a month or so of not even changing the way you eat or exercise, you'll start just gaining weight. And it's usually around your stomach. And the weight on your stomach and the fat on your stomach is the danger area. That's where you get sickness from. That's where we get diabetes. That's where we get cancer and diseases, is from that fat just sitting on and around your organs. Blemishes. Do you know what it's like to be in your 40s, 50s, and sometimes 60s and you get pimples? Wasn't puberty enough? Wasn't puberty enough to be self-conscious enough so that, you go to school and you've got these mean kids making fun of you for having braces and pimples and blemishes? And then here you are, you're late in life, and then you're still getting pimples. What an insult. You have dry skin, you have itchy skin, you've got crawly skin, saggy skin. So I thought I was losing my mind the first couple of times I felt crawly skin, and it was actually when I was in the shower. It felt like something was crawling across my scalp. Now, there's nothing that could keep you from like tearing your hair out if you feel like something is actually crawling on you. And there's usually nothing. It's just your skin. Just for whatever reason, it feels like something's crawling on you when there's absolutely nothing there. The dry skin. And I'm not just talking about a little dry skin or ashiness. We're talking about cracking, dry, white, flaking skin, where all of a sudden you're investing in all kinds of creams and lotions that, brown people, we kind of like moisture up a lot anyway. Like, we always got shea butter and cocoa butter. And I know women just in general, no matter what your race is, you probably have 1,000 different types of lotions and butters. But there is something about just like darker skin, and it's cracked up, and it's just like, it is not pretty. Dry skin is not pretty on anybody. So next thing you know, you're buying all kinds of specialty lotions and creams and butters, is because your skin becomes so dry and thin, and it becomes painful. So then you got, okay, what comes along with the weight gain is the cellulite. Now, sometimes, Women just get cellulite and it's there. No one actually cares. Men don't care about cellulite. Women are the only ones who care. But if you're not used to seeing it, if you've been a person who've exercised your whole life and then all of a sudden, bam, you've got cellulite, it can be very shocking and it can do something to you and it just leave you wondering with what happened. Just being swollen, okay? That can be either from gas or just from water retention, but just being swollen, inflammation. I am starting to have pain in places I didn't know I could have pain in. It's not just your joints, my wrists, sometimes my knees, the bottoms of my feet. My feet have started hurting. Now, you guys, I don't know if you've heard me say it before, but I cannot stand Crocs. Do you hear me? Crocs to me, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody on here. If you wear Crocs, because you know they started off with nurses wearing Crocs, and for good reason, they're on their feet for a while. I understand lots of professions where people wear Crocs. I could understand people who, you know what, whatever. There are so many good orthopedic shoes out there that Crocs to me feel like if you're just wearing them just to be wearing them, you've just given up on life. I'm sorry. I know I sound like a snob. I know I sound like a snob, but I cannot stand them. Okay? They are hideous. They're hideous. They're ugly. I don't care. But I understand the way my feet have been hurting, why people would put Crocs on. If your feet constantly hurt, then you put on what works for you. I happen to like sneakers, really good sneakers, or like house shoes, or just any kind of dress shoe with some nice cushy insoles in them. But if you guys ever catch me in some Crocs, you just know that I'm not that far from the grave. Let's see. Allergies. Waking up in the middle of the night, your ears itching, your nose itching, your throat itching. That is a common occurrence. The ears are a big one. So you need to have like a standby of some, I try to take non-drowsy allergy medication because, you know, people have to function. And Benadryl, it'll just knock you out and you still want to live life. Depression. All of these changes can bring on depression. Now, if you're feeling like you're really being impeded by perimenopause and you need to get help, that means talking to your OB. That means talking to a counselor. That means talking to someone in your family who is willing to share their journey. Like I said, the women in my family, they didn't talk about all this. They did not talk about all of this on this paper. I'm finding out myself, and I'm finding out, thank goodness for social media and women sharing more about what's going on with their journey. But if depression has entered the chat, then you need to shut the chat off and go talk to somebody because it's very, very important that you get help. Lethargy, just being tired. I wake up tired. I go to bed tired. I take a nap and then I wake up and I'm still tired. I'm constantly tired. And if I'm not feeding it with if I'm not feeding it with like caffeine or some sort of monster, which I wish my husband never told me what a monster was. I knew they existed, but then I had one and they're absolutely delicious. But they're not good for you. Nothing in excess. That includes caffeine. And I'm telling you this because I still have my health and wellness roots. Just because I'm going through it doesn't mean that I have let go of everything that I'm talking about today. Lethargy, okay, just being tired constantly. And by the way, my grandmother, when she used to talk about her arthritis, a lot of her arthritis, not only did she have it, it was probably due to perimenopause. But again, we wouldn't know that. And maybe she didn't know it, it's just, that's what the old people talked about. If you were in pain for no reason, your joints were sore and inflamed, you had arthritis. But a lot of that could have been perimenopause. Forgetfulness, words and actions. You guys, turning on the stove, letting the water run, walking off, and just going to do something completely different. I'll turn the shower on. Next, I'm washing dishes. I'll turn the water on the stove to cook something. I'm outside playing with the dogs. The struggle is real. And I mean, even words. This is why some people probably start getting paranoid that they may have dementia. If you have dementia in your family and you start forgetting things, that's terrifying. Okay. If you can't remember the word for, I don't know, like a stadium, or a particular type of fruit or car, and it's scary when you can't remember the words to things. Apathy, which also could be depression. So that is one reason why I have not been on here to speak with you guys, is because I have a general sense of apathy. I don't really want to do anything. And the thing I do want to do is kind of be in my garden. And even then, it's sometimes more of a thing I have to do. But because it's probably the one thing that really brings me happiness right now is gardening and growing my own fruits and veggies and being able to feed myself. But outside of that, I don't want to go out. I make myself go out to see my friends. I love them. And trust me, they make me happy. But the idea of putting clothes on to go outside, out there, out here in the world, where people drive crazy and treat you mean, I don't know. A lot of times I just rather stay at home. So that apathy to just want to sit on the couch and just binge watch whatever is streaming, it is very real. So I feel you, and that's what I've been struggling with. It's hard to be motivated to do things when you feel like that, and you're tired, and then you don't feel well on top of it. And then let's talk about the other side of it, is dealing with family. Okay, so with a spouse or a significant other, painful sex. Okay, the elders may not have talked so much about that, because that's kind of like, you just keep that on the down low. That's your business. You talk sex with your spouse or your mom or something, but I mean, but who wants to do that? You guys remember that old Madsen Gill commercial where the daughter and the mother are walking along the beach, and she's like, "Mom, sometimes sometimes I just don't feel so fresh." And I'm just like, I could never in a million years, I could never in a million years imagine telling my mother that down below, sometimes I just don't feel fresh. She's gonna be like, "You better go take a shower. You better get in the bathtub. It's gonna wash it, okay?" But really, no, seriously, if you do have, if you're of an age and you feel free to talk to your elders about this sort of thing, then talk to them about it. So, painful sex, okay? Sex can become very painful, and it's because the estrogen is drying up your lady bits, which it's also simultaneously dry and wet because it's sweaty. So it's a little gross, right? It's not wet in the way you need it to be wet. It's sweaty. That's not great. And then it's not only dry, but there's some atrophy going on. Your skin is starting to get thin down there. It can tear very easily. And the muscles are starting to kind of tighten up where they should be, tight and supple yet loose. And that makes sex very uncomfortable and very painful. A low libido, which doesn't help. Low libido or no libido. I mean, if you're having problems down below, the last thing you want to do is think about sex, right? But you may have a partner. Hopefully your partner is understanding that you're going through something, and that you guys can work through it together. And then I mean, the big one, which is the most insulting out of all of these, is just your surprise cycle. The surprise menstrual cycle, where you haven't had to carry around any sort of like protection for months. Then all of a sudden, you think you're halfway, or at least close to that year that'll put you in menopause. So if you did not know this, you have to go a complete year without having a period in order to be considered menopausal. I am not there yet, and it's very disappointing. So you're just going along your merry way. You think you're all good. The next thing you know, you go to the restroom and there's a surprise there. Maybe it's ruined your beautiful dress at a special occasion. Maybe you just woke up and you're like, "Are you kidding me?" Each time, even if it's spotting, you're going to have to reset the clock. This can go on anywhere from 5 to 10 years. Okay? 5 to 10 years of perimenopause. Menopause, once you get there, is just forever. Meno, that's after the pause. You're just going to keep going. But hopefully, those symptoms won't last forever. However, it's like I know people who are still having hot flashes well into their 60s and 70s. Okay? Everybody is different. But don't be disheartened. Keep talking about it. And like I said, again, shout out to Gen X and the millennials for bringing this information to talk about this type of thing. I know some people are able to actually get FMLA if it's bad enough where you can take time off of work. If it's, and let me tell you, use your sick leave. Use your sick leave as much as possible that you need to if you have to keep going into a job and punching the clock, because as of right now, they perimenopause is not considered any sort of a situation that you need medical care for. It's just like, oh, this is what you have to deal with. And honestly speaking, I think it should qualify for some sort of medical care, because between the hormones that you may have to take, and by the way, do not let people just put you on hormones. If you need some to function, make sure you talk to an OB that truly is in your corner, that's throwing stuff on you. You may have to get a first, second, and third opinion. But the one thing you don't want is all of those side effects. The wrong hormones can make you go bald up top and grow hair on your back. And nobody wants that, right? We don't need hair. If you want a beard, fine. But you know what? Don't grow a beard if you don't want to grow a beard. Okay? So, um, I'm just going to say, just take care of yourself, guys. I can't promise that I'm going to be on here more. I enjoy talking to you. I do. I enjoy being there. I enjoy sharing with you. And I don't want the channel to be all about my journey with perimenopause. That's big right now. And there are a lot of channels and a lot of people talking about perimenopause. And it could be just because the people of a certain age and my age are starting to go through it. And we're more vocal about it. We're not, we've got the world, we've got social media, and we're able to share with you the type of stuff that we're going through, that our parents, that our grandparents didn't talk to us about. So I'm here for you. I am. Um, Thank you for your support. Thank you for all of you who still hung in there with the channel, whether I've been there or not. Um, I'm going to start doing better, I promise. And well, let me shout out actually my other YouTube channel. And this is a thing that keeps me happy. It's called Star Baby Homestead. That's STARR Baby Homestead. And it is my gardening channel. And I try not to cross things too much, but you know what? Whatever. Star Baby makes me happy. Gardening fuels me. And in this day and age where we're dealing with either food insecurity, we're dealing with food trust, we're dealing with high prices, um, we have to get back to our roots and growing our own food, because that seems to be the only way to keep ourselves and our families well. And I come from a long line of gardeners and farmers, and it truly fuels my soul to be able to grow my own veggies. So anyway, check out my other page if you're interested. Again, that's Star Baby Homestead. And y'all, be well and be blessed. Keep shining, keep your head up, keep treating yourself well. And if you don't feel like doing something, don't do it. I know I'm not. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye. Is this thing not gonna end? Okay. This is why